Jeremiah chapter 51. Thus says Adonai, look, stirring up against Babylon and those living in Lev Kamai, a spirit of destruction. I will send strangers to Babylon to scatter her and empty her land, for in the day of trouble they will be against her all around. Let the archer bend his bow at her, let him rise up at her in his armor. Do not spare her young men, destroy her whole army. They will fall down slain in the land of Chaldea, thrust through in her streets, for neither Israel nor Judah will be widowed by his God, Adonai Tsabaoth, though their land is full of guilt before the Holy One of Israel. Flee from within Babylon, each one escape with his soul. Be not silent in her iniquity, for it is a time of vengeance for Adonai. He will repay her recompense. Babylon has been a golden cup in Adonai's hand, intoxicating the whole earth. The nations drunk her wine, so the nations are going crazy. Suddenly Babylon is fallen, shattered, howl over her. Bring balm for her wound, perhaps she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she cannot be healed. Abandon her, let's go, each one to his own country, for her judgment has reached up to the heavens and has risen beyond the skies. Adonai has brought forth our vindication. Come, let us declare in Zion the work of Adonai Eloheinu. Sharpen the arrows, fill the quivers. Adonai has roused the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his plan is against Babylon, to destroy it. For it is Adonai's vengeance, vengeance for his temple. Raise a banner at Babylon's walls, strengthen the guard, station watchmen, prepare ambushes. For Adonai has both planned and accomplished what he spoke about the Babylons. You dwelling by many waters, rich in treasures, your end has come. The measure of your covetousness, Adonai Tsabaoth has sworn by himself. Surely I will fill you with men like a locust swarm, and they will shout cheers over you. One made the earth by his power, set up the world by his wisdom, and spread out the heavens by his knowledge. At his giving voice, tumult of waters in the skies. He causes clouds to rise from the ends of the earth. He makes lightning for the rain, and brings forth wind from his storehouses. All mankind is stupid, ignorant. Every goldsmith is disgraced by an idol, for his molten image is a lie. There's no breath in him. They are futile, a work of delusion. In the time of their visitation they will perish. Jacob's portion is not like these, for he is the former of all things, including the tribe of his heritage. Adonai Tsabaoth is his name. You are my club, a war weapon. With you I shatter nations. With you I destroy kingdoms. With you I wreck horse and rider. With you I wreck chariots and rider. With you I break man and woman. With you I break elder and youth. With you I break young man and maid. With you I scatter shepherd and flock. With you I scatter plowmen and ox team. With you I scatter governors and officials. I will repay Babylon and all living in Chaldea, and for all their evil that they did in Zion before your eyes. It is a declaration of Adonai. Beware, I am against you, destroyer of the mount. It is a declaration of Adonai, destroyer of all the land. I will stretch out my hand at you, roll you down from the cliffs, and make you a burning hill. They will not even take from you a cornerstone of foundation stone, for you will be desolate forever. It is a declaration of Adonai. Raise a banner in the land, blow a shofar among the nations, consecrate the nations against her, summon against her the kingdoms, Ararat, Mini, and Ashkenaz. Appoint a marshal against her, bring horses up like rough locusts, consecrate the nations against her, the kings of the Medes, its governors, and all its deputies, and all the land of its dominion. Now the land shakes and wreathes, for Adonai's plans against Babylon arise, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. Babylon's warriors ceased fighting. They stay in their strongholds. Their might is exhausted. They have become like women. Her dwellings are set ablaze. Her gate bars are broken. One runner runs to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to tell Babylon's king that his city has been taken from end to end. The fords have also been seized, and the marshes burned with fire. So the warriors are in panic, for thus says Adonai Tzavaot, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor at treading time. A little longer, and the time of harvest for her will come. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, has devoured me, crushed me, set me aside like an empty dish, swallowed me up like a dragon, filled his belly with my delicacies, rinsed me away. The one dwelling in Zion says, let the violence done to me and my flesh be upon Babylon. Jerusalem says, my blood be on the Chaldeans. Therefore, thus says Adonai, yes, I will hold up your cause and take vengeance for you. I will dry up her sea and make her fountain dry. Babylon will become heaps, a dwelling for jackals, a horror and a hissing uninhabited. They roar together like young lions, growl like lion cubs. When they become hot, I will set out a banquet for them, and I will make them so drunk that they become merry, and then sleep a perpetual sleep and never awake. It is a declaration of Adonai. I will drag them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with he-goats. How was Sheshach been taken, the praise of the whole earth ceased? How has Babylon become a horror among the nations? The sea has risen over Babylon. She is covered with its roaring waves. Her cities became desolation, a dry land, a desert, uninhabited land, through which no son of man passes. I will punish Bel in Babylon. What he swallowed I will make him disgorge out of his mouth. Nations will no longer stream to him. Yes, the wall of Babylon has fallen. Come out of her, my people. Each of you save your soul from the fierce anger of Babylon. Do not be faint-hearted or be intimidated by the rumor heard in the land. 1 year, one rumor comes. Next year, another rumor. Yet violence will be in the land with ruler against ruler. Therefore, behold, days are coming when I will punish Babylon's idols. Her entire land will be disgraced, and all her slain will fall in her midst. Then heaven and the earth and all that is in them will sing for joy over Babylon, for the destroyers from the north will come to her. It is a declaration of Adonai. Yes, Babylon is to fall for the slain of Israel, even as the slain of all the earth fell to Babylon. Escapees from the sword, go, do not stand still. Remember Adonai from afar, and make Aliyah to Jerusalem in your heart. We were ashamed when we heard reproach. Disgrace has covered our faces, for foreigners enter the holy places of Adonai's house. Therefore, behold, days are coming. It is a declaration of Adonai, when I will punish her idols, and the wounded will groan throughout all her land, even if Babylon went up to heaven, and even if she fortified the height of her stronghold. From me, destroyers will come to her. It is a declaration of Adonai. The sound of an outcry from Babylon, great ruin from the land of Chaldea. For Adonai is devastating Babylon, and will silence her loud voice. Their waves will roar like many waters. The noise of their voices will resound. For a destroyer is coming against her, against Babylon, and her warriors will be captured, their bows broken. For Adonai is a God of restitution. He will fully repay. I will intoxicate her officials and sages, her governors, deputies, and warriors. They will sleep a perpetual sleep and not awake. It is a declaration of the King, whose name is Adonai Tzavaot. Thus says Adonai Tzavaot, Babylon's thick wall will be totally razed, and her high gates burned with fire. So the peoples are toiling for nothing, and nations weary themselves for fire. The word which Jeremiah The prophet commanded Seraiah, son of Neriah, son of Maaseiah, when he went with the king of Zedekiah of Judah to Babylon in the 4th year of his reign. Now Seraiah was a quartermaster, and Jeremiah wrote in a single scroll all the evil that would come upon Babylon, including all these words that were written about Babylon. Then Jeremiah said to Seraiah, when you arrive in Babylon, then see that you read all these words, and say, Adonai, you have spoken concerning this place to cut it off. Then nothing will dwell there, neither man nor beast, but that it will be desolate forever. Now when you have finished reading the scroll, you will tie a stone to it and throw it into the middle of the Euphrates. Then you will say, thus will Babylon sink and not rise again, because of the calamity that I will bring on her, so they will weary themselves. Thus far are the words of Jeremiah. Chapter 52. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. And he did what was evil in Adonai's eyes, just like all Jehoiakim had done. Because of Adonai's anger, it came to the point in Jerusalem and Judah that he had them cast out of his presence. So Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. It came to pass in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, the 10th day of the month, that King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon came, and he and all his army against Jerusalem, and besieged it. They built a siege wall around it, so the city was besieged until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. In the 4th month, the 9th day of the month, the famine was so severe in the city that there was no food for the people of the land. Then the city was broken into, and all the men of war fled, going out of the city by night by the way of the gate between the 2 walls, which was near the king's garden. Even though the Chaldeans were all around the city, they were heading along the way of the Arabah. But the Chaldeans' army pursued the king and overtook Zedekiah in the desert plains of Jericho. Then all his army was scattered from him. Then they took the king and brought him up to the king of Babylon at Riblah in the land of Hamath. He passed judgment on them. At Riblah the king of Babylon slaughtered Zedekiah's sons before his eyes, and also all the Judean leaders. Then he put out Zedekiah's eyes. Then the king of Babylon bound him in bronze chains and brought him to Babylon, where he put him in prison until the day of his death. Now in the 5th month, the 10th day of the month, which was the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, came into Jerusalem to represent the king of Babylon. Then he burned the house of Adonai, the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem. He burned every large house with fire. Then all the Chaldean armies, which was with the captain of the guard, broke down all the walls of Jerusalem all around. Then Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried into exile some of the poorest of the people, the rest of the people who were left in the city, the deserters who had defected to the king of Babylon, and what remained of the craftsmen. But Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, left some of the poorest of the land to be vine dressers and plowmen. The Chaldeans smashed the bronze pillars of the house of Adonai, the stands of the bronze sea that were in the house of Adonai, then carried all the bronze to Babylon, the pots, the shovels, the wick trimmers, the basins, the pans, and all the bronze articles for temple service. They also took away the cups, the fire pans, the basins, the pots, the menorot, the pans, and the drink offering bowls. Whatever was gold or silver, the captain of the guard took away. As for the 2 pillars, 1 sea, and 12 bronze pools that were under the stands that King Solomon had made for the house of Adonai, all these articles had bronze beyond weight. The height of 1 pillar was 18 cubits, and it was 12 cubits in circumference, and 4 fingers in its thickness. It was hollow. There was a bronze capital on it. The height of the 1 capital was 5 cubits, with lattice work and pomegranates upon the capital all around all of the bronze. The second pillar was the same with pomegranates. There were 96 pomegranates on the outside, including all the pomegranates around the lattice. There were 100. Then the captain of the guard took Seraiah the Kohen Gadol and Zephaniah the second Kohen and the 3 doorkeepers. From the city he took an officer who had been appointed over the men of war, as well as 7 men who saw the king's face, who were found in the city, the scribe of the commander of the army, who enlisted people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land who were found within the city. Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, took them and brought them to the king of Babylon to Riblah. The king of Babylon struck them down and put them to death at Riblah in the land of Hamath. Then Judah was led away into exile from its land. These are the people whom Nebuchadnezzar carried away captive. In the 7th year, 3,023 Jews. In Nebuchadnezzar's 18th year, 832 people from Jerusalem. In Nebuchadnezzar's 23rd year, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, exiled 745 of the Jews, altogether 4,600 people. Now it came to pass on the 25th day of the 12th month of the 37th year of the captivity of Judah's king Jehoiakim, that King Merodach of Babylon, in the 1st year of his reign, lifted up the head of the Judah's king Jehoiakim and released him out of prison. He spoke kindly to him and gave him a throne above the throne of kings who were with him in Babylon. Then he changed out his prison garments, dined regularly before him all the days of his life. As for his allowance, a regular allowance was given to him by the king of Babylon, a portion for each day until the day of his death, all the days of his life.